Hello and whoa, too loud. Hold up. Still too loud. I think that's about right. Now, this is another intermediate tutorial on how to build things like submarines, and I think just submarines, because I don't know how to build planes yet. I'll have to figure that out. Now, basically, a submarine functions by having a ballast tank, which is filled with air or water. Since water is just as heavy as water, it'll cause it to sink. And if air, well, it is. Since air is heavier than water, lighter than water, it'll rise to the surface. By controlling the amount of air inside of in this ballast tank, you can control whether you have negative density, positive density, or neutral density, or negative, positive, or neutral buoyancy. And when you're at your rise position, you want to be so heavy that only your top pokes out, so that no matter what you do from there, you can always sink. Now, I've simply made a giant engine room, a ballast tank, with also my pair of hip rolls, some hydrofoils, which don't work at all, and some omnidirectional thrusters made of propellers. And also there's the command room. Now, generally, I just keep it at about whatever buoyancy levels it takes to keep me around neutral buoyancy, because then I can control it by driving. Now, I'm going to show you how to make a little one. So, here's... Alright, if you couldn't hear that, then it just means that we're going to build a smaller, simpler submarine. Now, with the concepts behind a submarine explained, you're going to want some measure of symmetry, so go ahead and make symmetry. And I'm not going to make this like a real looking sub, I'm just going to make it a real acting sub. So, a sub of this size is probably going to need a pretty decently sized engine room. So, that looks about right for the ballast tanks. So you really just want a three-dimensional cube shaped thing. It's okay if it falls over, because we're going to add a ton of lead weights. I think the bass in these headphones is nice. Now, once you fill that in, just fill in the sides. And the front and the back, but don't do the top. I'm just going to build you a basic submarine that's got an engine, no weapons. You can stick those on yourself. And we're capsizing. Or not. Get a fuel processor. Fuel processors. Actually, why don't we have 4? Because logic. Fuel storage tanks. Just line the walls. Why not have a spares crate? And we're going to want to have repair bots. I think I'll just go with a bunch of little repair bots. Now, this is plenty of space, so to control your buoyancy levels, you're going to want to have an air pump, and that's going to let you pump the air out. Now, keep that at 100 if you want to float, because you do. And then once you get the structure of your vehicle built, then you can calibrate your density levels and how much weight you're going to be needing. For now, though, I would recommend just getting a little line of lead on the bottom to keep you from falling over, or you can just lock your building with caps. Now we can go to wood. Now, personally, I'd like the front and the back to be the same in structure. So, I'm going to get rid of the symmetry And since there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, then at the full 5 mark, in the 6 mark, press N twice. Whoops, press, the 5 mark, press N once, and then again to set it to even numbers. And then you can begin building with no issues. See? Since you're going to be having a relatively long engine room, you can simply do this. Thank goodness for the fill feature. Now don't worry about the wood being floatable and not sinking, because we're going to add weights everywhere to balance it all out, because I don't want to work out the physics behind that. Now once you get your infrastructure, decide which end's going to be your front. Actually, why don't we try beams, because it feels like beams are more effective, and they'll make my computer faster. Yay for beams. Actually, I think the wall should be made out of wood blocks. Doesn't matter, really. Oh, it's still on perma remove. Phew, good thing I caught that. Alright, now to fill these sides. Alright, now you can put air pumps in these two. Like so. I recommend you put this one up a little higher. Actually, it doesn't matter. You can set them to off, because it's just going to keep the water out. It's not necessarily going to do anything. In fact, it'll help you because it'll act like some of the lead weights. Now when you put the top on, the water's going to disappear because it's counted as an airtight space. Now, I believe that doors are counted as solid blocks, so they can be part of an airtight space and still make it airtight somehow. And even when they're open, they still feel, they're still airtight considerably. They're still considered airtight. There, said it. Now, also, going to want to have an access door, preferably on one side. Actually, it doesn't matter because I still have my symmetry on. That way, if you put weapons on either side, you can still use the other door. And it's a little heavier. It doesn't matter though. Alrighty. Now you need your engine. I have my own personal engine that I like to use because it's very large and it uses every single piece to the max. It's also kind of wide though, so you might need to widen up this bit. Oops, no. Leave a space so you can get in there. Like that. There. Oh, you know what? I don't want any symmetry. There we go. That's what I was forgetting. I want width-based symmetry now, so that I can do half the work. Now you're going to want to put exhaust ports on the top, because I feel like those have the greatest effect on how much power they produce. I'm going to have exhaust ports here too. So now you drastically increased. Here, to prove my point, why don't we just take these off and then look at your power output. It's 98 point. Actually, this won't matter at all until we put the carburetors on there. the recording cut out. I'm going to supercharge these. And then you want to take your engine zone fuel tank, because that improves efficiency. And you want to figure out what's right next to it. And I know it'll be placed in the wall, but if you hold down shift, you can easily place it inside the wall. And then later you can just come around here and do that. Won't even make that big a difference, except now your power output tripled. Now you want to put a supercharger here, because logic. You want to put a supercharger here. And can you put superchargers on, or can you put exhaust ports on superchargers? I guess not. Nope. Okay. That's okay. Now all we need is exhaust. Alright, so right now your power output is 322. Now with the exhaust ports, it's now 546. So it's important. Also, you want more carburetors. And with that, more superchargers. And with that, more engine zone fuel tank. Because logic. And now you want to do the same thing on the other side. And then you want to have own fuel tanks attached to there. I personally feel like the building ooh, jeez, that's bad. I personally feel like the building interface could use a little work, but actually, I've gotten used to it, so it's not too bad. Actually, I won't put that there, because that'll block off my doorways. Which I do so very dearly need. Okay, now, we have a working engine that can put out, I don't know, 500 power? 763 power, because that many more pieces makes that much more difference. So remember, get as much on there as you can. Now, if you're going to be piloting this, stick a controller on there. If not, try to work out the AI until I get a tutorial out for it. Now that guy that posted a tutorial on how to do a sub can no longer say he's the only one out there, because I put one out there. Now you can seal off the ceiling, because I don't think you need to do anything else in this room. And just put a little chair in there. Actually, I'd put an origin block in there too, because you need one. You need a couple. Heartstone. I don't think we need one of those. I don't think actually we could use some light fittings. Doesn't really matter as much as we thought it might, but I feel like light fittings are a good idea. If you don't like the idea of them, then don't have it. Jeez. Why do we have no engine power? Maybe because it's turned off, or maybe because there's nothing using it. Nope, nothing using it. I guess light fixtures don't use energy, because back when they built boats, they had unlimited energy. Yes, definitely. We don't really need any of that. Except maybe a chair. Yes, we need a chair. Stick my little dude in there. Display would be nice. That looks like everything we need. We don't need any of that. But I don't think we need that right now. Alrighty, let's just seal off this top bit. Now you might notice that we're not very submarine-y, which is why most submarines are made of metal. But I don't want mine to be made of metal because it doesn't need to be. So if we line the bottom with a little bit of lead, give you that pattern, the submarine will begin to sink. When it does, it'll start to look a little more like a submarine. Okay, we still need to add some. How about we add some on each side? That's... Actually, we might need to add a little bit more. Why not? Like, that much more. At buoyancy frac... Actually, now that the waves have subsided like they have, I think we need a little bit more. I have an idea. We can use a anti-capsizing part bit. That'll give us a bit of a keel, but we need a keel, because or else we'll flip over. That looks pretty good. Although, I don't think we need the bottom half of the keel. Okay. Now that you have your basic submarine, I'm just going to show... Whoa. Hold up. Let's just turn this on to 1. This area right here isn't breached. This area seems to be. Oh, I have an idea. This is probably a bit less effective in single player, but using ethereal blocks as doorways often helps. No? Okay. Well, I tried. Okay, so before I add propellers and stuff, I'm just going to show you that decreasing the buoyancy constant can now cause the vehicle to sink. Slowly. So don't sink in combat. That's pointless. Also, I need to go to the engine room. Other engine room. And I need to figure out where is... Ah, shoot. Where is my... Here we go. Nope, wrong room. Here we go. Where's the air pump? Here we go. We gotta turn this on. And it's backwards. Here we go. This shit's backwards, that's why. Whoa. Here we go. Now there's no issues of... Maybe? Nope, no issues. Good. Now let's have a look at our vehicle from the outside. We need more lead. A lot more lead. Yeah, we need more lead. That's okay. That's what happens when you are building a new vehicle for the very first time. Gotta make changes. Oh, there we go. Now if we set this buoyancy for sink. Now, depending on how early the vehicle cut out, or how early the recording cut out, you might have missed me doing whatever. Now, if it tilts this way, that means when it's sinking, we're going to need a little bit of lead on this end. There. That should even things out. Now, I'm now going to try and find the neutral buoyancy area where it's got neutral buoyancy. This isn't it. This isn't it. Here we go. Very close. It needs to be higher still. That's pretty close. Alright, now about propellers. Now, you want to have rudders, because, you know, rudders are important. I'll just apply them. Oh, on the rear end. Actually, hold up. Is this the rear end? Yeah. Looks like we're still sinking. That's okay. When you get the vehicle, when you build the vehicle, or if you download it, you can put your own, you can figure out your own constants. Alright, now we simply need the attitude control thrusters. These are just thrusters placed along the edges to make the vehicle move quickly in any direction you'd like. There. Now I gotta go figure out why the engine isn't on. The engine's off. Classic. Alright. Now it's time to go sit in a chair. Okay. I feel like these light fixtures are a bit crazy. But it's alright. See how our new craft flies. Do this. I just realized that there's no I just realized that without any hydrofoils, the command tooltips for raising and lowering are non-existent, so I better put like these little itty bitty hydrofoils on either side. Because who knows, maybe they'll help. That's all I need, that's all I want. Okay, try it now. Here we go. And now, go forwards. Now you can cruise around underwater like no one's business. I think it works well. And the only thing I can think of to fix any issues would be to add more thrusters. Especially vertical. Here we go. Try it now. Yes, so much better. And while we're at it, why don't we equalize the amount of thrust, or further equalize. Why don't we equalize the amount of thrust being applied? Okay. Now let's try something. Great. Now let's test the rise ability. I know it's inconvenient to try and make it rise. Alright, let's see. Here we go. No. Come on. Why is nothing happening? Maybe we should get some let off. I think that could help. I mean, it's rising, but it's rising too slowly. Still too slow. Close. Here we go. Now let's test its diving since we've changed the weight up. Nope. Alright. I just have one last thing to try and make it fix. Turn this off. Okay. Now it's working. Okay, well I'll just save this vehicle over the I'll save this over the tut sub because that's exactly what it is. T T T F G H I J K L M N O P Q. What? Okay. I guess the tut sub disappeared. And that has been a tutorial on how to build a sort of working submarine in From the Depths. This is Joe Danger signing off.